Josh, what's your favorite thing to eat for lunch at work?
Pasta.
Why is it you just bring pasta to work? Or?
I fucking love pasta. Can't go wrong with it.
What's your favorite pasta?
Fettuccine.
You say you love Olive Garden?
Love Olive Garden. Love it. Breadsticks, baby. Unlimited salad.
Yeah.
Soup. Come on, man. Can't go wrong with that shit. You know, it makes me want to say things like, it's a me. You know.
It's a me, Luigi?
It's a me, Luigi.
All right.
Planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No. Where do you get off? Just a couple of people who totally got off, bro.
Hey, show us your basement.
What? No.
And welcome to Show Us Your Basement. I'm your host, Alberto, and I'm joined by Edgar to my left, Eric on my right, and that motherfucker right sitting across from me. It's me, Luigi, over here.
Get out of here,
Super
Mario.
Brothers.
Get the fuck out of here, Mario.
We are recording the episode of Show Us Your Basement, gentlemen, but we're deviating away from the traditional format. Usually we do ranking of movies. We talk about films and what we think of them and where we personally rank them. But every once in a while we get a little bit exhausted from talking about these films and getting on each other's necks and stuff. So we've introduced some decompression episodes where we share some of our favorite things just of all time, and we thought this one is something that we can all speak on because we are all a part of this world. And Josh had this on his list. Josh, tell us a little more about what we're going to be talking about today.
We're here to talk about one of the worst things anybody could have as a job. I think we can all agree to that. Mm-hmm. Retail, baby. Retail life. Because I think we've all experienced that. We've all met through retail.
We did. That is true.
We did.
This is true. I'm curious, why was this on your favorites list, Josh? Clue us into this world.
Well, when I think about decompression, right, and I think of what we all relate to, and this is obviously something that we can relate to. The fun side of it, the ugly side of it. We obviously all have met through retail, and I believe a lot of people that will listen to this podcast, they will most likely relate as well. In the world of retail, and what best way to also decompress by also talking shit about something? Because I think we can all talk shit about retail.
I agree. And we're doing this in the same format of Show Us Your Basement. We're going to be talking about the good and the bad mid of retail and the basement of retail. So we're going to go through all of it.
And we're going to rank it at the end.
We're going to rank it as we always do. We're going to rank it at the end.
Is it good?
Is it Show Us Your Greatness? Is it...
Let's turn this around. Let's start with the Show Us Your Basement side of retail.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
We have to get into the
all
shitty
right,
parts
good.
of retail.
All right.
I mean, I feel like you got some...
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Edgar. Edgar, go.
What's basement for you about retail? Everything? What do you think?
Let's start off with the rude customers.
Oh, man. Classic.
The classic.
Yep.
The rude customers, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Rude customers. That's it. You just you just threw out the topic. You don't want to expand on it.
Let's talk about Eric's experience with his rude customer. Just this recent.
Oh,
I think that's actually. That was a good.
Let's turn into it.
Yeah, did you just experience something that was pretty shitty and it made you aggressive, Eric?
Yeah, I think this is less about it being retail than. I did recently have an experience with a gentleman that came into where I work that was understandably frustrated for a certain reason. There was a part of our department that was not open because it was not staffed correctly. It was not something that I was in control of, or anybody that was in control of was there. He had called on the phone several times. And
you told this person several times this department is closed, right?
Yeah, we certainly were, very sympathetic in our message of delivering the message through the phone. And so when he came in, he was, I think, more irritated because we couldn't help him with what he needed.
Yeah.
And a unprofessional altercation happened with myself, and I'm not proud of it, but he did tell me that to shut the fuck up, and was mumbling some disgruntled. You could tell he was very disgruntled. He was kind of mumbling at me, and I don't think it had anything to do with me directly. I think he was just having a bad day. The other two associates I was with at the time, they were, not really wanting to engage with him, and I understand, but somebody has to acknowledge the person when they walk in. You can't just not acknowledge them and ignore them. So I was trying to make kind of small talk to try to make him feel good, and normally for me that works. It didn't work in this situation.
I just want to point out, Eric, you're talking about the story like we're HR.
Yeah, no, listen,
we're on your side.
I know, except Josh knows this very well. I've worked in high levels of retail, so my perspective on how these situations unfold, they change. Like when I was a ground level associate in my younger days, I was a little bit more like, yeah, fuck that guy, fuck this job, and these fucking people. When now I look at it kind of like it really, it's like I mishandled the situation.
No, I don't want you to think that way. Fuck you, Eric.
Okay.
I apologize. Because let's just be honest. This guy is, and I'm saying this because you guys all know my position.
Yes.
Okay. I am in upper management. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Unfortunately, it's the weekend. My cap is off. I'm gonna say this. Fuck this guy.
Yeah,
right?
fuck this guy.
This guy calls several times. You're like, yeah, the department's closed. I apologize.
It's closed, sir.
Calls again. I apologize. There's nothing we can do for you. This department's closed.
Yes.
Calls again, right?
3 times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the department's closed. I apologize. You can call back tomorrow. Blah blah blah. Wow. And then he comes back into the store.
He did come in
because he was probably like that
aggravated
piece of
as
shit.
fuck.
He was probably lying to me. So I'm just gonna walk into that store and. What? The department was fucking closed.
The department was closed. You can't help me, you asshole. I was like, excuse me, you're not gonna call me a fucking asshole. That's kind of how it went.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it went. But it's not. Listen, you're not gonna fucking call me an asshole, sir. Thank you.
Is this the most? Or this is definitely far from like the worst interaction you've had, right?
I had an interaction in my 20s working for a company where a customer punched me in the face.
Oh,
that happened. So
really?
Yeah.
What led up to that? Go Birds, and then just.
I was probably 20. This was a long time ago. It was something. It was damage related. I worked for a company where we washed semi trucks, and he was claiming we damaged something, and he didn't speak very good English. And I was about 22 or 23, and this guy was probably twice my age, and so I was trying to explain to him that we didn't damage it, and I finally kind of got frustrated and said, we didn't damage it. Please leave the property. I remember saying almost like that, and I turned around and walked back, and I could hear him behind me talking to his friend. They were driving this semi together, and I could hear these rapid footsteps behind me. And I turn around and bam, dude, he just fucking laid one on me, dude. Laid one on.
Jesus.
So
I love this topic because I think out of every company you work for, retail is the most heaviest in customer service. And customer service
100%.
is fucking ugly.
It
and
is.
it's getting worse in my opinion.
Explain. Well, what about you, Josh? I mean, I have
man.
I have to imagine you get even worse interactions.
Oh,
because you
absolutely. And I think of my previous job. One time there was this lady who comes in and she purchased something with a credit card. Okay. There's a difference between cash, debit, and credit, right?
yes.
Credit is not tangible, right? It's a fucking card. and it takes X amount of days to show up, right? And this lady was like, I'm returning this. I want cash. And I was like, well, unfortunately, how it works, it has to go back to the way it was purchased. Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you guys done it before? And I was like, I apologize. That's not our policy. And I'm trying to explain to her. And she starts like screaming at me. And this was like on one of the busiest days. And there was like people like on the walkie, Josh, I need your help. Josh, I need this. And she's all screaming at me. And then finally, I just was like, screw it. I'm going to just refund her. I gave her the cash. And she was like, that wasn't so hard, was it?
Oh, damn.
And I remember the other manager was with me. She was walking by, and she kind of was like, wanted to help de-escalate the situation. And I remember as I handed her the cash, and I was like, you're the proven fact that when you bitch loud enough, you eventually get what you want. And she just looked at me,
Oh my God.
took the money, and then I just went on my way.
How did you feel afterwards?
I felt better.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't regret what I do. You push me, eventually.
Yeah.
You poke the bear, you're eventually going to get the bear.
Was that like the worst thing you've said to a customer, you think?
Oh man, I don't think I've ever really. I'm a very patient individual, and it takes a lot for me to get frustrated. I've kind of stabbed back in my conversations. So I don't think I've ever had like an extremely like terrible moment, but I think little hints of like what an example I just gave you right now
Where
is
you're kind of showing your...
where I'm just like, I'll just tell how.
Well, there's a
how it
fine
is.
line, and
Yeah.
we're living in a world where, especially in retail, it almost feels like the consumer is untouchable or should be viewed as untouchable.
Right.
In this fear of they're going to leave us, which I think that is real in some cases, but I think it's kind of put a lot of us at a disadvantage because we are people. We're not machines, you know, like you have to still go into a place and act accordingly. I don't know. I feel like consumers have been just enabled to essentially have their way any way they want it. They can act if they want to act out and throw a fit.
Everybody knows the term the
It's
customer is
okay.
always right.
Yeah, but this is getting extreme.
But yeah,
at times.
with that now it's like it's right to the point where I should always get my way by definition. You know, I'm sure you guys have handled that, right?
I think for you probably had more interactions with customers like that, right?
It's hard not to like say what job and all that because you gotta get into specifics sometimes. But
Yeah.
I agree with with Erica has similar most of the time. Those type of customers. There's other times where like with Josh too. It's like you done this before. Why can't you do it? It's like I just explained it. I can't.
God, dude, I really hate that.
You know
that especially when it's like. Sometimes they're like you want to like I understand where you're coming from, but like I gotta fucking enforce the policy. I can't be
Yeah.
And they're still like fucking
Yeah, like you keep telling them to the point like, can I talk to your manager? It's like okay, then you gotta ring in your manager, explain what's going on. Then they have to like okay.
Once they hear it from management, then they're just like, well, I'm gonna go to corporate. And they're like, go ahead, dude. You know, fucking go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough for this shit, you know. So no, I've gotten that type of interaction before. I don't know if I ever got punched in the face before. That's extreme.
Yeah.
That's not happened to me yet. But maybe if I tell them about Saw movies, they'll probably find pissed off. I don't know. No, I think as a sales associate, I think the most rude interactions I get are just the ones where they think that you're fucking like their butler, and they're just kind of like, yeah, go do this fucking thing, and it's like, I don't know, that kind of shit irritates me, but it's never gotten to a point where I have to like raise my voice. You guys know me, I'm pretty quiet. I don't really like. I try to avoid conflict as much as I can. Sometimes it meets you though. I'm telling you, you know, it's sometimes you don't want it, and then it's you gotta fucking like, all right, I gotta fucking stand up for myself, and that's rough, dude.
What is your most intense situation?
Intense? It was actually my first job in McDonald's.
You used to work at McDonald's?
For like 4 months.
Oh.
And I was like, this is not for me. It was, I was cashiering, and this little girl comes up and she like wants to buy something or whatever, and I give her the receipt, give her the change, and then her mom comes up and was like, you didn't give her the change. Where's the money at? And I was like, I gave her the fucking change. I gave her what she needed, whatever. And she was like so fucking aggressive and in my face about it. And then she walks off and comes back, and then she's like, my daughter just had it, and she just never gave it to me. She never gave me the change back. And I'm like, why the fuck was it? And this is like my second day at the job. Like, what the fuck? Come on, man. Like, this is... Or sometimes it'd be just people being like, this chicken nugget is fucking cold. And it was like, you got 20 of them in there. One of them is cold. Don't fucking worry about the rest. Just eat, that's like what I
hate to say this, but I'm like one of those like McDonald's customers.
Really?
I remember like one time, like I got the wrong order, and I was like 2 bites into it. And I remember going to the cashier, and I was like, yeah, I didn't order this. I actually got this. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, but I'm going to keep this. they're like asking it back. I was like, no. I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to finish it. But I still want what? And then I remember they were just looking at me. And I'm just like eating the burger, waiting for like my correct meal.
How do you feel when you do that? You don't feel like...
I'm like, fuck yeah. They fucked up. More for me.
Have you had that, Eric? Are you like that? Are you sympathetic on the other?
I think I'm more sympathetic now than I once was.
Yeah.
I've had moments what Josh is talking about, but it is very extreme. Like I had a guy the other day. It was like behind the deli, and he's cutting meat, and he sees me standing there, and I'm patient. And I know I'm like, all right, he's working. Well, there was a woman standing in front of me, and she was bickering about him to me. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, maybe he's just ignoring us. So she walked off and left, and I was like, hey, is there like a weight? And he's like, I'm cutting 6 pounds here. I was like, oh, you're cutting 6 pounns, huh? Yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just checking to make sure you're cutting 6 pounds because do I need to come back? He's like, oh, I'll be done in like I'll be done in a minute. So I kind of had to get his attention, but like I was a little irritated and got a little confrontational with him.
Let's be fair though too. Is customer service is bad for 2 reasons, right? The expectations are a lot higher, right? And also the service is getting pretty bad as well. Let's be honest. There's a lot of individuals that don't have a personality. They're supposed to work customer service, and then they don't cater to it like they're supposed to. Okay. Yeah. And then so the lack thereof with attention, like Eric's point, is fucking bad as well.
He was not this was not a customer service level of an employee. Like he's cutting meat behind the deli. I don't know. I know you have to interact with people, but he's back there, and I could tell he's like trying real hard not to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like agitated.
Yeah, like I don't know. Is he looking at me? You know what I mean? Like he's back there probably thinking that, and so it is bad. I think it's just kind of entry level people are getting. I think they seem to be very diluted in their ability to actually have like face to face conversations. But I think some of that has to do with kind of where we're at with society and how we interact with people, and like the ability to just look things up on our phone and have it tell us how to do things.
No, absolutely.
We're doing less interaction with people in person, and I think that we're social creatures, and we need to like be in communities and interact and to gain confidence and happiness with each other.
And being in management in retail is a double-edged sword as well, because you're not just dealing with the hard side of customer service, but also the individual that should be giving good customer service. I'm just like,
yeah, it's
you just can't say that. Yeah, like why did you do that? What
compelled you
to say this or do these things that would, knowing that it would come up to this come down to this.
Well, Josh, I wanted them to know about the Saw franchise. I just had to bring up the fact that Saw he looked like the kind of guy. He just looked like a horror kind of guy. The comment might have been too much. I think it might have. No, yeah, I agree. I think it's all like you said. It's a double-edged sword. I think it's the people who work in retail. They already don't want to be there, and it's like, but you chose this profession.
Absolutely.
So it's like you have to at least put the bare minimum and just be respectful, which is what I do. You know, even if the people I interact with aren't the greatest, it's like you just kind of have to power through it. I mean, you've had that before, right? Like you just have to kind of power through it when you don't want to fucking be there, and you just like. So you agree, right? Like you kind of have to just. I don't know.
What's the worst experience you've ever had?
Fuck, dude, they all blend in. Well, the one that comes to mind is that my last retail job. It would there's like multiple ways to get your receipts. They can also send it to your email. And I guess that day I wasn't in a good mood. And he was telling me his email, and I wasn't paying attention. And I just made one up.
You made an email?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like 5 minutes later, it comes in. It's like you didn't send it. This and that. I'm like, oh fuck. It's like it takes a while. I was making up lies to save my ass up. But he, the next time he came in, he told me it never showed up. Like he was up my ass about it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
So maybe it was the system, but next time it'll like it'll go through and this and that. But he was like really in my face about it.
You're not jabbathehut95@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That wasn't your email, man.
Yeah.
That was the word, like most recent. That's your most
yeah.
recent.
Like I
worst
said,
experience.
I have a lot of years and they all blend in. They're not a lot, but there was another one where they needed something from the very, very fucking top.
Yeah.
And I needed a ladder, and the ladder that we had next to it was broken. It was missing a leg.
Yeah.
So I can't use that one. Let me go get another one real quick. And say, no, I'll hold it down for you.
Oh,
and
no,
you go.
Can't do that shit. No.
Fuck. And
You
I'm-
work retail now,
sort of.
sort of.
I'm a stalker. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
This is
So you don't interact with the.
I don't
I
want
would love to have that job, Edgar.
But this time, it's like fuck. And I remember everyone else was using the ladders. So fuck it, I guess. No one's looking. So I just went up and I just, took what he wanted like a 6-gallon like trash can or something. I forgot.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was on the very top. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Josh, you work upper management, but I'm sure you've worked entry-level jobs.
Yeah.
So what kind of interactions have you had not as management, but as sales?
The best, man. I was the best at what I did. No, I think Eric actually remembers this one. I was actually gone for a week on vacation, and I sold appliances, and I sold this kitchen set, and I guess it went bad. Like there was delivery issues, install issues, and I guess during the time I was off, she was like calling me like daily, and they were like, yeah, Josh isn't here. You would think that they would support me, right? My peers would, these other associates would be like, yeah, let me like call this number, let me get you resolved. But it was like, let's wait until Josh gets back. That's not for another like X amount of days. So she
Sounds
calls.
like a Josh problem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's exactly how it was. And I remember coming in, and she was so furious, and she was like, I was trying to explain, like, I apologize. I was off on vacation. I'm not in control of this, but let me see what I can do to get it fixed. And then she kept calling me, like, she was like yelling at me, and I think she was calling me a retard. I hate to drop that R, probably take that
I
out
think
of there.
that was like the actual word used.
Yeah, and I got so furious, and I didn't yell at her or anything like that. And I was just, at this point, I was like very condescending. I was like, I'm so sorry that I'm a retard. I apologize for acting like
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and she was like, oh my God, you're just contradicting me, and she was like crying and stuff. 5 minutes of the conversation, her husband showed up.
Showed up, dude.
And like banged his fist onto the register, and she was like, "Nobody makes my wife cry. I've been to jail and I'm ready to go back." And I remember I was like, "1 second, sir, I'm on the phone." And then I turned around and I kept talking to her, and obviously it made the situation
it was
worse.
dude.
And this guy was like
guy wouldn't
ready
leave.
to fight
God
me.
damn.
AP came down to kind of like
Yeah.
de-escalate the situation, because like one of the associates saw it, and they're like, "Oh, there's some confrontation." And then finally I was just like, "Hey man, this is what happened. You know, let me make sure that this gets resolved, and I will make sure that you are in whatever way compensated." Right. And then he calmed down, he left, and that was the end of that.
Yeah,
but
this was probably 13 or 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And we looked this guy up. I remembered this guy's name for 13, 14 years. Yep. I'm not. This is a true story. Honestly.
okay.
The other day, literally like a week ago,
He did.
we looked him up on someone's social media account. Looks like his wife is divorced and left him. Too bad. Probably because he's fucking acting like a psycho.
Or she's a psycho. I
or
would
she's a
say.
psycho.
I would
Yeah.
say she's a
Whatever.
psycho, you know.
Something didn't work. It looked that way at least.
Yeah.
But he still looks like a fucking douchebag. So
Is he in jail currently?
I don't know. He didn't.
All I know is that
I don't know. No,
anybody,
he's not the photos we saw.
if anybody holds grudges for me, it's this good man right here, man. I appreciate it.
I can't believe I remembered the name. It's a very unique name. I'm not going to say it on
Yeah.
air, but I never let this name go because I'll never forget when that happened. And I remember back then looking him up, and it was such a unique name. It just never left my brain. Like was imprinted in my brain. And all these years later, we looked it up, and there he was, dude. The moment we saw him, like, yep, that's him.
That's it.
Divorced, fucking broke as fuck. Actually, I don't know about that, but I'm
Rhymes
making
with
that up.
mouse.
Oh God,
House.
Yeah, that is true. Mouse, maybe.
Klaus.
Klaus.
Smouse.
So if you if your name rhymes, if you happen to have a name that rhymes like that,
Right.
shout out to you, sir.
Yes.
You're a piece of shit.
Wow. Have you ever stood up for Eric in that same way, John? Do you hold grudges for him too?
I just don't hold grudges in general, man.
You leave him hanging whenever he's gotten?
No, I don't want to say I don't. I've had Eric's
No,
back.
Josh has
and,
always
you
had
know,
my back. Like it's
Okay.
this is an extreme case we're talking about. An extreme case. Josh and I've always, back when Josh and I worked together and we were both just associates at the same place, we always had each other's back in whatever weird way we needed it. I don't think we had too many
No,
bad things going on to where it required like some extracurricular shenanigans, but you know.
I think that kind of I don't know if we can talk about things that are mid about retail unless there's anything we can touch on. Because I was gonna say that's a good that's a good thing about retail is that you guys are found each other. You guys are great friends, and I think that's what Edgar spoke about before we even recorded was like that's a great thing about retail is that you find some lifelong friends.
Yeah,
in
this
retail,
is the definition right here.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Show Us Your Basement would not have existed had it not been for retail, let's be honest. Had we not, more or less with me and Eric, because I don't think we've met through retail, but we definitely have met Eric through you, and you worked
Right.
with him before, so. But yeah, that's like that's one of the great things about retail is that that's where you find camaraderie, you find someone, you hope that that's the case.
Yeah.
When you work at retail, sometimes there's some people that are just fucking. Have you ever had asshole coworkers that you just couldn't get along with, John?
I have that to this day. Absolutely, I have to mute them sometimes.
on
calls.
Eric
Yeah.
over here, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
That may have happened.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Pretty sure it did happen.
I'm gonna mute this guy.
I gotta mute this guy. Sorry, everyone. Click. I like to bust his balls.
What about you?
But
Eric?
it's
Is
fun
there-
at the end of the day. It's
Oh,
fun.
it's always
yeah.
fun. Oh yeah, plenty. I think I've probably had. I think I've worked with more people that I disliked working with than I probably have had with difficult customers. Maybe that's being. Maybe that feels that way because when you're working with them every day, it kind of feels like, oh God, I'm coming to work with this guy again every day. Again, I think it was probably felt worse when I was younger than now. I can't really think of I think in the more recent times, I think when Josh and I worked together a long time ago, there were some shit bags, but I don't know if they were like all-time shit bags.
No,
I mean, there was definitely fun to poke at, but I don't know if it was like all-time.
They didn't make it where it was like bearable.
Yeah, it
coming
wasn't
to
like
work.
unbearable.
Like you were like, this guy's a piece of shit, but I know when I clock in and do my 8 hours or so, I'm gonna at least have fun with these guys.
Yeah.
It's weird that you bring it up. I technically didn't meet these guys working retail. We met them through a friend of ours. Well, we still met through retail. That's the fun part.
That's the common thread.
Yeah, you would always come in, and then we would talk for 5 minutes or so, and I'll be like, "All right, Edgar, I gotta work. See you later, bud. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah, no, and having that experience, like I told this to Josh countless times. Like, I think he's the best manager that I've had, just because of how much.
Dude, I think you had the easiest fucking interview with him. Easy. So that's how I looked at it. I took you to talk to him. And like, hey, just talk to him. He's cool. You might hook you up, like work with him and everything. And
do you remember that?
I don't even remember interviewing you, man.
He interviewed by the women's.
Yeah.
Was it women's or juniors clothing? And it was just like 5 minutes of a interview, and then you told after we left, so, did you get the job? I said, yeah, I got the job.
I was just checking a box.
Yeah.
Can you talk to people? Yes. Can you breathe on a daily basis?
Where do you stand on Zack Snyder's? That's how it all fucking started right there.
Do you like Chipotle?
I don't know.
Yeah,
To me, it was easy because when we went in there, Josh and the other Josh was working there.
Mm-hmm.
And I introduced you to him. It's like, hey, this is my younger brother. He wants to work. And I guess, I don't know if he, like, let me interview him. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that if that was the case. I don't really remember too much about
interviewing.
Getting interviewed. I just like I said this story countless times. I just remember this is how committed Josh is to his job, that when he's not there, he will still make sure that I got shit to fucking do. Because like I said, I remember showing up and then like just getting a random text from Josh like, hey, ads on my desk, can you set it up? I'm like, what the fuck? He's not even in today. Why is he texting me when I'm supposed to fucking... I was ready to just chill out behind appliances and not do anything. So it's like little things like that just like that extra bit of care to make sure that I'm not just fucking...
Sitting around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hyperventilating in the back.
Which is what I do in my current job. Yeah. So, I mean,
the first time I met in person was when we went to go see Alien
Covenant.
I
I don't even remember you.
No?
I do.
I remember Josh, Eric.
Uh-huh.
were you
Was Jaime there?
or what?
I know. Jaime.
Maybe
it was
I
him.
thought maybe I thought you were Jaime.
Okay.
No, he was there.
You guys all look the same, man.
Hey.
I don't.
No, I remember it pretty clear. So this all started with what? You put the consumers in the basement. Is that? This is where this led.
Yeah,
Am I right?
we're in the basement. I don't know if we're in the basement anymore. I don't know where we are.
It sounds like we went. Okay, we went up now. We're talking about the
Kind
good.
of talking about just like the good memories. We
Yeah,
had
okay.
of retail, but I don't know. It's just now that I'm thinking about it, I think the worst interaction I've had in retail, it doesn't have anything to do with the customer at all. It has to do with another associate. When I was working at Walmart, which was funny when I got hired, the manager who hired me got fired on my first day.
Yeah.
I showed up.
Man, how does that?
Like I showed up, and then the guy's like, "I'll be right with you. I'll show you around the department." I was like, all right, cool. Comes back and just fucking leaves. And I'm like, what happened? The fuck? And because I got hired for the toys department in Walmart, and then
Dude, that's a dream. That's a dream position.
You would think, but once that guy got let go, and it was like, "Whoa, we don't have a manager for you to train, so you can just." You're going to be just in toys and sporting goods and paint. You're just going to do all three of those things. But yeah, so as months went on and I was working there, the paint associate, who worked in hardware, he had a very specific thing about just doing things. You don't touch his fucking go backs. You don't touch his fucking go backs, and that's exactly what I did. and I was putting it away. And I was like, who did this? Who's doing this? Who's doing this? I fucking like putting the shitting away, and then they all pointed. I was like, I think it's Albert who did it. I was like, you don't touch my stuff. I put away my stuff, and I'm just standing like, I get off in an hour. Please just fucking leave me alone. Yeah. That was like because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what like this guy was straight up fucking yelling at me for touching his fucking cart. Like, dude, chill.
Yeah.
Fuck, motherfucker.
How long ago was this?
This was in 2015, I think.
Damn.
I will say that the crazy thing about retail is it does more so than the normal people bring in a lot of crazy individuals.
Yeah,
like a lot of the people that work in retail are like batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Unsociable, like just Tourette's, whatever you want to call them. And they're like, hey man, just customer service.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. That is, that guy didn't get fired from that interview. Like, everyone was watching that shit, so I was just like, you guys gonna...
It just sounds like a toxic work culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Retail?
Well, what he's talking about.
I feel like that's potentially retail in general.
Yeah, but I mean that particular situation sounds
that
just
was
like off the rails because he's coming in on his first day. The guy who hires him getting let go, and then he's going to the paint department. And this guy's like, "Don't touch my fucking cart, motherfucking shit."
Exactly. Yeah. No, that was. Oh man, I hated that. And then just doing things way above my pay grade, like fucking like cleaning up throw up and shit.
Oh yeah.
That fucking sucks. Like this person like threw up in multiple aisles. Like he was just walking around throwing up. And it was like I came into work and was like, oh, that sounds like an Alberto problem. Fucking give him the mop and fix and clean it up. Like, dude, come on, man. What the fuck?
Sounds like a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Sounds like Walmart.
Yeah, in a nutshell, dude. Fucking hated Walmart.
How long were you there for?
I think it was just for over the summer. I think it was like close to Black Friday is when I quit because like I don't want to work Black Friday.
Black Friday at Walmart.
Oof, that
I remember
brutal.
I put in my 2 weeks and I gave them like the letter of resignation, which I don't think people do in Walmart at the time. Because when I gave it to the manager,
people do that ever.
I gave it to the manager. Like, oh, this is very eloquently written. We're going to use this as an example for other people.
They told you this?
Yeah, they told me that.
And then they just threw it in the trash.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. What they did. But yeah, no, that was probably the worst job that I held. No, you know what? I think it was Bass Pro Shop. I only worked there for a month.
How
many jobs have you had?
A
Yeah.
lot.
Holy shit.
Well, that one, they literally they hired me just for the month of December, and that was it.
Oh, so seasonal.
Yeah, seasonal.
Was that this one over here?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Did you also work at the Target?
Tough.
No. Edgar did though, right?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. I'm just getting my Starbucks.
Yeah.
See, now I'm giving out the locations of the places.
They don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's Walmart, dude. It's like
on every
nobody
corner.
gives a fuck. Every corner.
That's true. Yeah.
If it was like something a little more niche, small, yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Now you're across the street.
Basically, yeah. That's actually that's true. Yeah. What about you, Eddie? What was the worst job you've held? You've also worked like 25 jobs.
That's a long ass resume.
It's a long resume. This guy's been everywhere.
Hired.
Yeah, you got
Home
experience.
Home Depot?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, what about why?
The fucking people there, dude.
They're the worst, huh?
I say those are the worst than like working like Target or like JCPenney type of.
Was that after JCPenney's or before?
After.
It was
After?
Mm-hmm.
But imagine people at Home Depot, they're probably very specific in what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're not just like running around like, check out these shorts, honey. Like they're looking like, hey, I need to
shorts at Home
find
Depot?
this 3/4 nut.
Yeah.
What aisle's it in? Aisle 5? Okay, and then they'll go down there and if they don't find it, they're gonna come back and find you. Hey, bud.
Yep.
That fucking nut wasn't down there.
I got fucking lost. You know this Home Depot has a fucking back rooms, right? I get fucking... I don't know, dude.
No, see, he nailed it. That's how it is.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. And look, they're also trying to get in and out of that motherfucker quick because you know
Yes.
they got a day to get to, and so I kind of understand why that would be tough. Like I could see that's a very like particular customer that has probably like a timing and it's got to be right.
Yeah.
Like, so that would be tough. I could imagine that.
You, Josh, what was your worst?
My worst? Oh man, Macy's was actually probably the worst.
What? Really?
Yeah, I hated that job.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Was it anything to do with the actual environment or something outside of it? Or
Definitely the environment. It was the timing as well, because it was during COVID. It was a really interesting company to work for too, because actually the store manager was out she just had her child. She just gave birth, so she was out for like 3 months. So for 3 months we didn't have a store manager. So and on top of it, we had several new assistant managers that were hired in the store. And we didn't know what we were doing. So we were figuring things out as we were going during Black Friday, trying to stay afloat without any direction. And then when the GM came back, she came back for a little bit, then we were furloughed. And then we came back a month later, and our hours were strictly 11 to 8 p.m. And that was my hours, 11 to 8, 12 to 8 every day.
that's your whole day, man.
Yeah, and it sucked. And I remember saying something to my boss, and I was like, hey, I like you, I have a new child. You know, I would like to. And they're like, she's like, who else is going to close the store? I can't have this guy close because, you know, I need him in the morning. You know, he can call HR on me. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I can call HR on you, bitch.
Jesus, dude.
You know?
Like, that's... I'll just quit right now. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, and it was
Like,
really
what the
bad.
fuck?
And what convinced her to bring me on board was because I had interviewed with her. I was hired by another company. She called me 2 weeks later, negotiated. But she was very like hands-on developing people. And she was like, yeah, you know what I really pride myself in is developing. And I was like, hey, I really pride myself in that too, is coaching conversations, developing people, getting them from A to B, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, there's that relatedness. And soon as she came back, I got none of that from her. So it was like really like a few months of like, what do you need from me? And I remember going to her and I was like, you know, what's the process for this? How do we do that? And then she'd be like, oh, like she would get frustrated with me too, right? And then I remember finally she told me how to do something and I did it. And she was like, I was eventually assuming that you were going to just figure it out, Josh. That was like her response to me, right? Yeah. And there's a difference of like what I tell my managers now in the position that I'm in is like, I can teach you the company, right? But I can't really teach you to be a great leader. I can give you recommendations. I can like kind of like redirect conversations and support you in some of that stuff. You're either a great leader or you're not. Let's just be honest. Okay. But I can teach you the company. So with Macy's, I was like, I came in, I gave direction, I made sure things were done, but I had to do it my way. Right? Because I didn't understand Macy's and I wasn't getting that support for her. So I remember I put in my 2 weeks, I was over it, I was done. And then she was like, well, why, why are you resigning? And I was like, remember when you told me that you were like a good developer and all this stuff? I was like, I got none of that from you. I was like, I got no support from you and all this stuff. And then she was like, well, the support that you were looking for wasn't obviously... like I can't always cater to that. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? You know? So, but it was a lot of it was just like trying to figure out the company yourself. And
how's Macy's doing, by the way?
That store closed down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know. So I'm not surprised.
Josh was like, see it, bitch, I'm about to start a podcast. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna be a great fucking
But yeah, that was actually and I don't talk about this too much, but I don't really break down. It takes a lot. But I remember like it got to a point where I actually did break down, you know?
No, it makes sense because when I saw him in Target, and it's like when we're in a conversation, it's like, I'm good. Just looking at us.
Yeah.
You got a cigarette? No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, John. Talk to you later.
Yeah, because there was a situation where like in a retail like that, JCPenney's, Macy's, you have a sales manager customer service manager and an operations manager, right? You never have one in the same, right? One is task driven, one is customer service driven. So he and I would clash a lot because, obviously my job was to customer service, drive a number, make sure things get done from a numbers perspective.
Yeah.
And his job was to make sure everything was done, and he would take my people away, right? And then I'd walk into a department, there was like 5 customers, and I'm like, where are my associates? So I would always clash. So we got into this huge argument one time, and it got escalated to our boss. We sat down, and she was like, and she was very one-sided. She was like, I'm here, like, I got to make sure he does this, he needs to do that. And I was like questioning, like, well, what about this aspect? What about, that? How am I supposed to do this? Like, you expect this from me, but, without the associates, I'm not able to accomplish that, but then it was very one-sided. And then I remember I just like, I broke down, and I was like, probably like, what am I going to do? This is the first time I've never been supported, because I want to say, like, when I do bring things to my boss, it's like very logical, right? I have good reason, and this is the first time it was like, no. And I felt like I was like logical and I made sense, but I felt so defeated. And then, this company called me, recruited me, and I took it as a sign, like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Yeah, like fast, God,
man. Have you ever broken down at work? Was that ever happened to you? Or
he's like, nah, man, I'm not a pussy like Josh.
Yeah.
I
want maybe the first year when I did Black Friday. I thought I can do it. It's like, it's gonna be during the night, no one's gonna be there. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. The hours dragged like a motherfucker.
Oh, I bet, dude.
There was nothing to do. It was like,
you worked the night, like, for Black
you know
Friday?
that you guys are gonna laugh. Watch. You know that skit that Chris Rock does when we're working at Red Lobster. Remember?
And he's like, you working.
When you look and it's only 5 minutes. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
that was me.
I felt that. Yeah.
Just folding clothes. Like, I gotta do something. It's like 10 minutes past. God damn. Yeah.
Dude, I think so. I literally have like cried before at a fucking job, and it was Scratch Kitchen. It's a ghost kitchen.
Oh yeah,
that it doesn't exist anymore. The people, the employers, they fucking like they no one knows what happened to them. They never paid their employees towards the end there, and they were like trying to look for them. I don't know what the fuck happened. But when I was working there, I think it was on a Sunday. So for the longest time, we weren't working Sundays. We were preparing to open for Sunday, and we're gonna do like service for that and stuff, for stuff like that. And I showed up, and it was like from 5 o'clock till 12 o'clock in the morning. Just receipts coming in, people ordering food, and just a line out the fucking door of Uber Eats drivers. And if you know anything about Uber Eats and like those fucking people who work those jobs, they don't talk. They show you the fucking phone. They want the order, and they're just waiting.
Yeah.
Because that's their whole fucking job. And so I'm working Expo. So I'm preparing fucking meals and shit. And at some point, it was just a pile up of fucking food. I didn't know what went with what. There was people giving me shit at the fucking window. Like, where's my order? And I'm like, I don't fucking even know what's going on right now. And as soon as it stopped, like, everything was quiet. I remember there was like a buffet of fucking like wings and cheesesteaks, just orders that people didn't pick up. And my boss was like, fucking dig in, that's lunch. It's 9 o'clock. Let's start eating. And they were playing music. They were playing music and shit. Everyone was having a good time. And I was like, I gotta step away. And I went into the bathroom, and I fucking just cried. And I was like, I can't believe I fucking went through that shit. That was fucking that might have been the closest thing to like something like traumatic happening at work. I know it sounds like I'm over exaggerating, but like that shit was
it's overwhelming to just go
no stops, no nothing,
and then you're failing on top of it.
Yeah, you're like actively failing. You know things are going to shit. Everyone knows things are going to shit, and you're just like, we gotta just ride this fucking wave until it ends.
You've broken down at work.
Yeah, I have. Believe it or not, like
Toughest man
I
in the
actually,
room, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't know about
Look
that.
at what he's wearing right now.
Oh my god.
His sister's shirt.
Yep. I actually really appreciated that story.
Yeah.
That you just told, because I can relate. But mine was kind of the reverse of it being a job that I didn't like. This was a job that I had been working in for 5.5 years, and Josh knows this story really well. I'm not going to go from the beginning, but I started working for a company. They hired me in as a manager in training. I was kind of thrown into this really disastrous situation at a location they had in a very high income area. Ooh. And I ended up, sorry to take a drink of water. I ended up being very successful at this. Very, very good at it. Like, really good, to the point where it was a springboard for me to advance. Mm-hmm. After about 5.5 years of working for this company, about 18 months of it at the end, I was working in a role similar to Josh right now. And I can't talk with this in my mouth. And it had come to an end. And I ended up agreeing to take an assignment back in the field in an area I didn't want to be in. And I think the CEO thought he was going to get the same results. This is my opinion, but I feel like he was anticipating some high-level results like I had produced at this high-income area. Now, there was many things I did very well at this place with the structure and how I hired people and, procedural stuff and creating a good environment for people. But there was an income ratio in this area that was significantly lower than the one I had been in before. So it was a challenge. They began to apply, or he had a partner at the time, but this was coming more from the CEO. He had really started to really apply this pressure on me to perform at a level that I just didn't think could be possible. But I felt like I couldn't say that, because when I would say it or try to convey it, I started getting these explosive reactions from him, to the point where he was criticizing what he was paying me and that it was costing him money. And wow. I remember in my final weeks, I was probably at this place for about 5 months, and I think in my final weeks, I remember walking out to the back. There was this little grassy knoll, and I sat down, and I just broke down. Very heavy. It was like a heavy, heavy. Jeez. And I hadn't had the emotions like that in a long time, and I remember
boogers coming out.
No, it wasn't boogers.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what happened to me when I broke down.
No, but I mean, it was heavy, but it was just the realization of that I knew it was over, and I think there was times where I was riding high and it felt really good, and there was a lot of great recognition I had in this company, and people knew that worked in this company what I was all about, and I think I had reached this point where I had felt so trampled and so just burned out that I just broke down. It was
that's the hardest too, because and I've been there too, is you're so successful, you're so good at what you're doing, and you're riding your high horse. I hate to say that from a cocky perspective, right? Mm-hmm. But you're just on this high pedestal. Yeah. You're doing all the right things, and then all of a sudden you're just going down, and you don't know if it's is it me, right? Is it the company?
You start to question, and the reactions I was getting from the CEO at the time, it felt like it was me, and I didn't feel like it was me, and so I was very competitive, and it just was hard for me. And I think I learned a lot about working with the man. Josh knows what it's like to work for the man, and I'll tell you what, that's a totally opposite evil, a totally opposite. You could put that in the basement. Mm-hmm. Of an experience when you reach a certain point. And look, everyone's experience is a little bit different, but I think in the end for me, where it started and how it ended, I saw this very ugly side of it, or what I would consider maybe more dark, the dark side of it. Mm-hmm. It's never enough. It's never good enough. We're failing. We're not a good organization. What are you doing about it? I'm paying you too much for these results. That's the kind of shit that happened at the end. And so look, it was a great learning experience. I think having those emotions actually helped when I look back. I think I'm glad I had that breakdown because it helped me kind of see like, all right, there's so much more to my life than this. Like, I can't sell my soul to this
I
anymore.
love that because how do you hit the reset button? Everybody needs to physically, emotionally hit the reset button in life, right? When you're like good at something. And I think retail is the definition of that because you get retail puts you through a grind where you build callous and you get jaded on certain things, right? And it's like sometimes if you get too calloused, too jaded, you start to like overlook some of the things that are important, right?
Yeah.
In life or at work or your work ethic and things like that. That when you do have that breakdown, right? Like I look at it as like, you know, the callus, the stone that you've wrapped around your body now has been broken, right? And then you've allowed yourself to become vulnerable, right? That now you can actually go in and give it 100%. You know, maybe not at that current job, but the next, because that's what I was able to do, right? So
No, well, yeah. Now that you guys brought that up, I would say when I was let go at Just Your Penny. Now I think when I came back and everything was like hitting in the wave, I broke down. I was like, "Fuck, okay."
That one hit you pretty hard, didn't it?
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about this before.
Yeah.
And now you're coming back to it.
Yeah,
So that was a place you enjoyed.
I enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. Even yeah, I knew that you had some good friends there. You had something going on there for sure. It sucks that like kind of that turning point.
Yeah, it was
happens,
a turning point too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And you know, the thing that I think I learned from retail is like you guys you've seen The Bear, right? Have you seen the show?
yeah.
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, there's a moment in the show, I think it's the first season, where it's like Carm is talking to I forget what his name is. I forget what his name is, but the guy who does the baking, you know, the guy.
The pastries and
the
stuff.
pastries, yeah. And he just tells him that, like, you know, like, have you ever had a day like that where you're just fucking up all the time and you just like you feel like you're just overwhelmed? He's like, yeah. He's like, my first day after getting a fucking Michelin star or whatever, like. I almost started a fire at the restaurant. And there's this moment where you are looking at the fire and you like realize, if I just let it happen, all my problems will go away. I can just, this son of a bitch can just burn down. And then he's like, well, what do you do? It's like, you put out the fire. And I think that's how retail is. It's like you have those moments where you're just like, fuck this place, fuck this job. And then you're like, you go, you clock in, you go and you keep going. And that's like a good lesson to have with life in general. There's going to be moments where you're just going to be like, fuck, what am I doing? What am I going to do? If I just rot in bed and I don't do anything, all my problems can just disappear. And what do? You just get up and you just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, that's what retail teaches you. You know?
I hate to say this, as much as we despise it because it's such a fucking crazy job to have, is you can actually learn a lot from retail.
It's true.
It is true. That is true. Yeah, and you wouldn't think of it, because like me, I don't like working retail, but like you even said it, like, you're still in it, and it's like, that's true. And the one thing that I've learned is, like, if anything, it serves as a platform for you to be like, I can do better. I can be better. If I don't want this to be my life, then, you know, we got to kind of push forward.
Yeah, when I think of like a job that creates good work ethic, people skills, grinding through things that are tough from a military aspect, not that extreme, but you know, it can be pretty fucking crazy. But like,
I think their mindset is that extreme.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
if
know?
it's executed.
No, absolutely
the same way.
Like I love the bear example that he gave, because there is a clip from that show where he's like putting a dish together, the main character, and then his head chef is like over his.
Oh, like, this needs to get good, or it has to go away.
He's like, that's shit. Why is this terrible? And he's like, yes, chef. Thank you, chef. You know, and he's still like focused, and what he's doing is not like yeah, he's critiquing and shitting on his work, but he's like creating pressure You know, and that's what I've learned in retail too, is just sometimes it's just, you know, you may have that customer that's yelling at you for a good 15 minutes and you're just like, yeah, I apologize. It's obviously a learning experience. I'm eating crow, right? I'm listening to the person. Yeah, we'll make it right. I apologize. Da 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 da. And then just move on to the next. You know, and that's all you can really do sometimes. And that pressure now sets you up for success to have better conversations with the next person, right? Whether it's another customer or a peer or a subordinate or upper management.
Yeah.
You know, like I've said things to our CEOs that was like, he's like, why would you even say that, Josh? That is, you know, and I'm just like sitting there and I'm just like, no, you're right. Yes, sir. Yep. No, you're right. You know, and I'm just like thinking to myself, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I overspoke. I should have gone this direction. Next time I know better, you know.
That's kind of shitty to have to feel that way, though, right? To accept that. I'm not saying that they're wrong because I wasn't there for the conversation of what the vision was in that moment, but
well, I'll give you aspects. So we're closing a building. We're closing one of our stores down, right? And he talks about like signage, and I'm like, yeah, I got sign-ins up. And I misspoke and I said like our promotions signing, right? Where it should have been closing signs. And then he kind of like ran with like, why would you put up promotion signs when that store is closing? We've been talking about this for how long, Josh? You know, like, why would you da-da-da-da-da? And I just ate crow and I took it and I was like, you're absolutely right. I'll get the right signs up, you know? So
having accountability is fine.
Yeah,
I mean, that's okay. If you can do it. Look, sometimes having accountability like that actually it adds to like that callous you're talking about.
No, absolutely.
Because you become less sensitive.
No, absolutely.
And I think that's a good
You
thing.
need that pressure.
Yeah,
you know,
do.
You know, like
there's times it can be really unnecessary.
Absolutely.
Like some of the reactions.
You can say that scene from Bear was unnecessary, but was it?
I mean, in the development of that character, I don't think so. It was definitely necessary.
It was, or no?
No, yeah, like no, I think it did add to it. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But still, no. But yeah, that's just. It's kind of what the retail like space is. That's what it just is. That's what it does to you. But you kind of hope to learn from it, and you know, I don't want to be in retail for the rest of my life. But it definitely does. It serve its purpose. So you know. Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say. Is what is the greatest? What is the greatest?
Yeah,
thing
let's
to
start
come
with
from?
this one.
Okay.
Okay. Before we go to the greatest moments, what is the funniest moment? Because I think we all have had like, what the fuck moments?
Funniest moment.
How did this happen? Right.
Ooh, fuck.
I had a moment with Josh here to the right, and where this was a long time ago. I don't know if this was the greatest moment, but it's one that I remember. This is one of these moments where like I had Josh's back with something. He was trying to. This was a long time ago in the Sears days because Sears is gone. Josh was selling a refrigerator to this couple, and I think he'd been working them on like a kitchen, so they were on the refrigerator. But somehow, this fucking prick from the tools department knew the people. He knew the customers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he was trying to sneak over and like get involved in the sale because I think he could have gotten credit for it some way, somehow with the structure of the company. Anyway, he's over there like interrupting Josh, and I see this from afar, and I'm like, this fucking guy's just, what the fuck's he doing?
Yeah.
I got on the pager. This was when they did the pager calls.
Yeah.
And I don't remember his name. But I'd page him on the intercom in the entire store and say, "Hey, you have a customer waiting for you at register 3, like in his department." And I saw him over there look up, and then he runs off. And so Josh gets back to doing his sales pitch. Well, this fucking guy comes running back like. And so I paged him again, dude. Again, I paged him again. I'm like, you have a customer waiting at the register 3, and I could see the distress in this guy's face as he's like moping along. He was a mopey fucking guy, dude, like a slug, like slugging along through the fucking department.
Yeah.
And I did this repeatedly, like multiple times. and I actually think I got on like a radio and radioed him.
Uh-huh.
So I was trying to like help him out because it was just, dude, when somebody fucks up your flow like that,
Right,
Like
yeah.
that's shitty, dude. Especially in the job we had, you really had to build the.
It's kind of competitive.
Yes, because it was a commission-based job, so you had to like step up your game and close this shit if you're gonna make money. And this guy is like not a commissioned associate. He's like an hourly guy over there trying to slide in on Josh's shit. Like he knew what he was talking about, and he didn't. He didn't know. I know this guy didn't know because he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about in tools. I used to hear him over there like, oh yeah, well yeah, stick the wrench and you go clockwise. I hear him like saying shit like that. I'm like, does this guy even know what the fuck he's talking about over here? So I enjoyed moments like that with the camaraderie. Like, I don't know if it was like funny in the moment. I don't think it was that funny. It was more like I was just trying to be like slick. Yeah, looking back though, I'm like, yeah, people don't do that shit anymore. I don't think, but you know,
You were a lead at this time? Or?
no, I think I was an associate.
You were...
I think I was on the floor with you.
You remember this?
I do remember this actually. I do.
What's your recount of that story, Josh? Or the same? Did he explain it perfectly?
I don't. I do remember aspects of that. I don't remember what happened afterwards. I think we talked about it. Eric and I would always go to the back and we would just like talk shop, joke around, you know. But I don't remember that. But I
Josh was an extraordinarily great sales rep in this department. Very good, very high level.
Thanks, Eric.
He was.
Yeah.
No, he literally was. Like he was by far the top. There was a couple of high volume writers in that department. Josh was by far like when it was like Black Friday or these big sales, he was always getting into this absurd day.
I remember
sales.
I remember like Black Friday. This is me tooting my own horn right now. I remember Black Friday, Friends and Family Night.
Right, Friends and Family was big.
It was like always a
big night.
busy day. And I remember I would get so drunk, like let's say Saturday night, and I had Sundays off, but I had to come in on Friends and Family, obviously because we had to because it was just so busy. That's where we were making money. I'd be so fucked up. I remember, and then I would like. Top volume for the day.
Top volume, dude.
Like
tens of thousands.
I was like $30,000 in sales, $50,000 in sales.
Whoa.
And then I remember I was on
In one
Monday
day.
and Tuesday, and then I'd have to come in and like make sure I rung everything up correctly because I was just like going through my tickets and did I fuck this up, did I add everything. But I remember I would like come in so shit faced. I had a bachelor party too one time and I was like so trashed. They took me to a strip club. I got so fucked up, and then I went home at like 5 a.m. Went to work at like 9, and then did like 40K the next day.
Damn, man.
I was just like ringing up, bags in my eyes, reeked of alcohol. I'm just ringing people up like
nothing,
like
dude.
nothing, man. I'm like, oh, you want that microwave? Let me just sell you this kitchen package. Yeah, you just want this kitchen package, And,
Yeah, he had it. He had it. So I think he would just be dialed in. So to just briefly circle back to that moment, he was just dialed in. Probably didn't know. He didn't have a clue what I was doing. I don't think he realized it in the moment. That's probably why he doesn't really recall. But everything else he's saying is true. It's a fact. And so yeah.
Those are
Anyway,
the golden years for you, dude.
oh, golden years, man. That's why, like, when I see these like half-assed terrible sales associates, they're like, oh, I already do it. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't do shit. You don't fucking do it. No, you don't. You know why? Because I know.
I think what he's doing now, I mean, maybe the golden years of just like it being an easy associate job, but I think what he's doing now, was very successful in the management ranks at a high level. So you could translate that into like, well, now he took a totally different step in a different age in his life where he's had like great success. And look at him now, So, I think Josh said it's been like an ascending thing, kind of like talking about actors. Like sometimes you see them when they're young and they're really, really good, but you can tell they need some more seasoning, and then they get into like year 15 and 20, and you're like, well, this guy is just on a whole nother, or girl, woman, whoever is on a whole nother fucking level, winning Oscars now, where they were once like, killing these like kind of good roles, and then all of a sudden, bam, they're like an Oscar winner. You know what I mean?
So those are your Oscars. Just making all those sales.
I'm in my Oscar years now.
I think he's in the Oscar years now.
Get out of here. I still got it. I was in a store the other day. continue to just toot my horn. And this, we have a low end parts used department, and this associate was like, yeah, they're going back there. This was like a year ago. They're just going to go back there. They only want to spend like $500. And I'm like, do they? I'm like, do they really? You know, they came back, and then I started talking to them, and then I sold them like a fridge. Then I sold them a washer and dryer, and then they walked out with a mattress. And then
10 grand.
Yeah, and then I just rang them up, and the guy just looked at me, and I was like, that's that easy, man.
I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, man. Shit.
Anyway, we've been glazing Josh this whole
Yeah,
time,
we
so
need
we
to
can
stop.
we can
Don't stop,
yeah we can
Don't
we can move
stop.
on to something else.
Instead of sales, he likes enjoying firing people now.
Yeah, that's your
Dude.
pastime, right?
Man,
I made
I'm
49.
gonna
It's
roll
like
with that.
You know.
I fired 5 people this
Yeah.
week.
I fired 5 people, and you know, I
feel nice,
kind of
yeah.
went into the bathroom and did some cocaine.
That isn't always the most fun process. Like, yeah, it's necessary, and there's times you're like very relieved to make a decision about someone, and you're like, okay, we've moved on. But I think in the end, you know, a lot of times there's moments where you have to let somebody go where you're like, they did something unethical, and you're like, fuck, like, doesn't matter how great they've been, what kind of person they are with you, and the interactions are great, but if it comes down to something like that, those are hard moments and hard conversations to have, because, you know, that's somebody's going to be, they're not going to have a job anymore, you know, and so I think that can be
That is true.
an exhausting, like, depleting feeling, depending on the situation.
Do you agree, Josh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and sometimes I do find joy in firing certain people. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
easy.
yeah,
You just keep glazing.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Glazing.
No.
Just love it.
We'll move on.
You know?
Andrew. What's a funny memory for you?
I don't have funny memories.
Oh, come on, there's gotta be. You said there was one where you were fucking around with people on the walkie-talkies in JCPenney or some shit. That was
Oh yeah. I think they called Josh, our friend, the little one,
The actual friend, Josh.
to the front to do cashiering, and they were pushing us to sell credit cards or something like that.
Yeah, they were pushing. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
So if anyone needs help or more understanding, just let us know. And I was like, can you explain it to me? Like, I forgot what I said. It's like, who's this? It's like, I'm Josh.
yeah. This is Josh E.
Yeah.
Can you help?
I said, okay, I'll meet you up in the front. He said, and I guess when Josh came back, he's like, dude, why'd you say that? She gave me a whole spiel on how to sell credit cards. And it's like, dude, I was just fucking around.
Yeah, turn it into a whole thing.
It turned into a whole thing.
I think for me, it was at the first job at McDonald's. I think you'll remember this. It was obviously I worked during the summertime, and it was like cloudy. It was like thundery, you know. I worked in Commerce, the one in Commerce City. I already gave that location up, and I remember the clouds were really black. They were gray, and it looked like there could be like a tornado forming. I remember people were like looking out the fucking like drive-through window and shit. The customers at some point there was like a shift leader. They were gonna, like, we might need you to move to the bathrooms. We might have to take you to the bathrooms. It looks like there's a funnel cloud forming and blah blah blah. And I was just sweeping the playground area, unaware what was going on. I knew what was going on. The kids started leaving the fucking playground. There was people not like eating food. And you came in and you were like, Howard, what are you doing? We gotta go.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to leave? I was like, I gotta fucking finish sweeping.
I'm ready to
Fucking
die in
play
this
place.
bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
The funny thing is that you're scared of these natural
I was
disasters.
trying to show not show fear.
When I was there to pick you up, I was like, I was asking everyone, I was like, where's Albert?
Yeah.
So who's that? Who's that?
We don't even know what about.
So I was waiting. He's like, okay, he's somewhere around here.
You talking about the little fat kid who's just in the like, play
And I
place?
just turn around. You're right there, just fucking.
Sweeping,
Everyone's
yeah.
like, everyone leave. We're like it. I think
Yeah,
they were
well,
going to the rec center down, like farther down, because like you said, there's like a
Yep.
funnel cloud or whatever. Everyone's leaving, closing, and it's like, where's Albert, dude? And just turn around. You're just not like nothing.
in the inside, I was panicking. I was not, I don't want to fucking be there. But I also was working. I didn't want to fucking,
Yeah.
Gotta get that raise, baby.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of you kind of say some nasty shit. This guy who told you, but I think your first time in the drive-thru was, I think that was funny too.
Oh yeah, there's this other teenager that was working there too, and I was working up front, and I was doing the the headset shit or whatever, and it's good to know for context. The other kid was African American, so he's got has the slang and stuff like that.
We're gonna have to delete that, guys.
But he was trying to talk to me through the headphones because he was asking for something. I couldn't hear what he was saying, so he literally poked his head out across the fucking where the people were doing the fries and grilling, and he said the N-word, right? He was like, ninja, you gotta whatever. And I was like, dude, shit, you have to shout at me, dude. I'm over here. Just call me through the fucking headset or whatever, dude. It was fucking that moment was that stood out too. I remember we were selling McDoubles at the time. The jalapeno McDouble. It was like a new item or some shit. And they had it loaded onto the system, but we weren't supposed to sell it yet. And some guy comes in and was like, "Can I get the jalapeno McDonald's?" Like, just no problems, right there. I clicked on it. Everyone behind me was like, "No, don't sell that yet." Like, oh shit, the fuck did I do wrong, man? Fuck. So that was also, yeah, dude. McDonald's was,
Get the jalapenos out of the freezer. We need to defrost that shit. So your order will be ready in 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, dude. I have plenty of those kind of memories at McDonald's, and my current job as well. Probably shouldn't say this, but old management no longer works there. But when they did work there, they were really, really chill. So much so that anyone could just get stoned at that job, and it wouldn't matter. And I had this good friend of mine who would get high in the supply closet, and he would do it with like a little torch or some shit. He really extracted fucking THC, and he would still operate in retail or whatever. And one time he made me go to the liquor store across the street to get some Swisher Sweets. Because that's how you could roll a blunt. And he shared it with me, and we smoked it in front of the fucking parking lot in Big Five. And I only had an hour left.
Don't say what the name is.
They're going to be like,
what did Alberto do in front of our store?
And most people know. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Is when I came back, I only had like a half hour left, and I was like operating the cash register. I didn't know it at the time that I was really stoned, but everyone else could tell. And when I was leaving, they told me that, like, we just remember you walking out. Like, I don't think you even clocked out. You just left, and you just, like, had your hands out, and you were just stretching out your hands and just heading home. And I was like, I don't fucking remember none of this shit. What the fuck happened? This is the manager who told me this shit.
The manager?
At the time, yeah. That's how chill she was. Dude. She would, like, have me go fetch fucking Sonics for her.
Yeah.
Shit, so. Those would probably be, like, the highlights for, like, retail.
What about with this guy right here?
With Josh?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one. I always appreciated, like, when I would ask Alberto to go do something outside of his job, and then he would just stand there and be like, "Okay, Josh." Okay.
And like the jewelry was what where he would send me was to go fucking.
Or the front registers as well.
Or the front registers.
Yeah.
I fucking like, please just leave me in my freezer for the rest of my shift. I don't want to fucking go out there. No, yeah, I had some, like, Tall Josh would be, now I'm calling him Tall Josh. Josh would be, like, he would show up at the start of my shift and tell me what to do and disappear for the rest of the fucking day. So I'll come back to check on you. And I was like, never showed up. I have to go find him to tell him that my shift was over and stuff like that. Or like when I
that's actually that's true.
Yeah.
Every time, like, we had walkies. I always had a walkie on me, right? So it's like, hey Josh, just want to let you know I'm done. Right? It was as easy as that. Yeah. I'd be like in men's, like working like go backs or like recovering a place, and this guy would just walk up.
I have to go home now.
Hey man,
Josh.
I'm done for my shift. Like, oh, okay, all right, man, all right. How long did it take you to find me? 30 minutes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have a walkie
not
back
wrong.
there. I just want to let you know you have a
wrong.
walkie back there. Just let me know.
You never use the walkie?
Never. I'm just not a. I don't like
Yeah.
speaking to people, dude.
Okay.
That's why quitting the job was such an easy process because he already knew that I was gonna fucking quit. I came in with the whole speech prepared in my head, and I was like, "Josh, can I talk to you for a second? Are you gonna quit?" Right? I was like, "Well, fucking nice knowing you, Josh." So that was it. So yeah, tall Josh, little Josh, they're all great. They were cool, but yeah,
Pennies was fun overall.
it was
It was fun.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed putting the dishwashers together with his other associate. I think you know who he is. He worked in appliances. Younger kid.
I don't fucking know.
Okay, I'll tell you afterwards. You'll probably know who I'm talking
Oh, okay.
about.
Was it Eric?
No, it was not Eric.
This guy right here?
I don't think it was me. No.
But yeah, it's we can go on for hours
Right.
talking about retail. But Josh, this was your recommendation. Closes out, my friend. What final thoughts on retail?
Well, I hope this was a good conversation. I hope you enjoyed. Those of you that are listening, I hope you enjoyed a good listen to as well. And if you work in retail, you know where we're coming from. You know what this is all about, and those of you guys that shit on it, that hate on it, there's a reason why you're still there. You're still doing it because there are some fun, great aspects about it.
I couldn't have said it more better myself. This has been another episode of Show Us Your Basement. I'll say this again. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Comment down below what's your favorite retail moment. Eric, do you have anything to say?
Go Birds.